Here, come on. I hope this works. We'll find out, right? We're going to find out. So this is Gavin. This is Gavin's. Which one is this? Is this the? Oh, this is your deer. See the antlers. Gavin's got his little antlers. Oh, you wanted to. Okay, so hopefully this is. Hi, I know. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, boo. Appreciate you. So I just want to welcome everybody to Saturday night crime chat, and there's some things I want to announce, and more importantly, I want to talk about Gannon. Hi, I'm just going to let people kind of, hey, Kathy, good to see you. Jody, good to see you. I'm going to, tonight I want to talk about Gannon, and I want to talk about, hey, Cruz Boston's here. Sorry. And I also want to talk about Colorado. And there is just something, hey, guys, it's kind of like, when you start a party and like, you're kind of like getting everything ready and one person comes and goes, hi, and you're talking to that person. And then all of a sudden 20 people walk in and you're like, oh, hi. That's what's going to happen for a minute. So bear with me. Hold on. Okay. I just want to say hi. Olive Joy. Yeah. Harley Chick. Good to see you. Stephanie, TKO. What's up? Brooke Moon, are you new? So I just want to, anybody new? I just want to welcome you. If you're new, just say, hey, what's up? Cecil County, Maryland. Let's see. I'm not supposed to touch my hair, right? Because of, that now, I'm going to get that virus because I'm all over myself here. But let's see. I know. All right. Hey, J-Dog, good. Welcome. Brooke Moon, welcome. Okay, so welcome to you guys. And yeah, okay, so let's talk about Gannon for a minute. Now, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but I totally saw this. I took off my glasses so I can't see for a second. Here's the thing I want to tell you. When they showed the picture of the house, did anybody else think it looked like the Watts house? I am telling you, the home that the stepmother took Gannon from, dude, that's exactly like the Watts house. It's the same exact. I'm almost like, this is creepy. If you look at the structure of the garage and the exact brick, okay, I'm not kidding. This is like, something's going on in Colorado. And I feel like, and here's the strange thing. Do you notice that and I'm using like the Watts case as an example. The Watts case in North Carolina, and then here we go with South Carolina. I'm just beginning to feel like there's something up with Colorado, and I don't know what that is, but you only saw the garage, Cruz Boston. I am telling you, go look at a picture of that house. I'm not kidding. It's like, I know, it's like, and I'm going to get a little bit conspiracy theory kind of on you tonight, just because it creeped me out. I was like, I think the thing is I started this entire channel over the Watts case, right? And that was when I, the crime stuff. And when I started that, one of the things that, I didn't even realize how much I was talking about that case, but there was just so much in it. And wait for it, because there is a very big 3-part coming your way that I know you guys have asked for. And you know what it is? It's the family tree. I actually have the Watts family tree. I'm working with a professional genealogist. So I'm going to have that for you, and I'm going to really cover what was going on energetically in that family. There's a couple other cases I'm going to cover that way. But the first thing I want to tell you is the reason I'm talking about this is because that house, that same house, okay, it's Shanann's house. I mean, it's kind of like, and that's another thing I'm very confused about. Okay, because I've been trying to follow this case, and it's almost like, it's almost like a weird, Nana's like, I'm from Colorado, and those people are transplants. So it's like, I hear you, I feel you, okay? So I get it. I like Colorado. Don't think there's anything wrong with Colorado. I am, and in fact, I was kind of thinking of moving there. One of the things I'm bringing up about that, and the important thing here is that house that is the Watts family house, I almost thought literally that they were, why are they back at the Watts family? I mean, literally, why are they back at that house in Frederick? And I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh my gosh, no, it is not. It is a different house. So here's what I want to say to y'all is this, that there's a couple things that are deeply disturbing to me. And that is like, I don't understand how this father, I don't understand what's going on. Why is he with the mother now? I'm kind of very confused about that. Let's see. Okay, and I want to just see because Cruz Boston just said Nana Flower said something. Okay, I got that. Let's see. There's something else I want to say. Check out the murals in DIA. I live in Colorado. There's definitely a ton of strange things there. What's DIA? I don't know what that is. Oh, hey, welcome, Shelby. I saw your message, by the way, on the board. Thanks for posting. Yeah, Margot. I think that I don't want to judge, but didn't the mother have her children? Yeah, I'm trying to. I tell you what. Okay, this is the thing that's been bothering me about the Gannon case all along. I am not understanding what is going on and why that stepmother had the kid, right? And then when I see the big news conference, the father's with the biological mother, and the news is saying, oh, these are the biological parents. Like, well, wait a minute then. Where is, so I got very confused. So I'm going to kind of, yeah, I felt that way too. Cruz Boston just made a point, which is Gannon's mom seems sweet, but I'd love to know why she didn't have Gannon too. And I'm looking at her, and when I was looking at the biological mother, I'm really kind of thinking she's recovering from something. Do you know what I mean? She has that, I want to say that haggard addiction recovery look. And that's kind of what I'm okay. Finally, somebody's getting this. Okay, hold on. Not that you guys didn't. Lizzie said, I got Watts vibes from the video footage of the stepmom and Gannon getting in and out of the truck. That's what I'm feeling is like, I almost feel like, okay, now I'm going to watch every woman who has a truck with a kid in it. No, I'm not. But, and I don't. But that's what's freaking me out is like, I was looking at that and I'm going, what are we missing here? Like, and bear with me because now this is going to go into the slightly woo. Okay. What are we missing here? Like, I feel that there are just, these children are being murdered or they're disappearing. And not that they're not disappearing elsewhere. That's not what I'm saying. But I mean, look at the same house. And I got to share with you guys, just anybody, just look at that picture of, when they show the police going up to the house and getting, stuff from the house. And you look at it and go, oh, that's the Watts house. And so I almost, check this out, I almost looked to see who the builder was. And I think I want to find out more information about the builder because there's something about these houses. And I know a few of you have said to me, oh, that's haunted. And I'm kind of like, yeah. I don't know that it's haunted, but something is not right with these houses. And I'm going to say this to you because I'm very I'm one of those sensitives, right? So I'm very I know. Okay, truth bombs. I am very sensitive. Like if somebody, I just feel it, I kind of go, I want to get out of the room. I don't like that person, Anyway, when I was living in California, my house, I had redone it and it was it was rebuilt from 1923. Sam, you had to bring that up, Photo Stools. You had to bring that up because I'm on it. Okay. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I don't understand. And this is just the thing. It's like when we're looking at these crimes at the surface level, I kind of feel like we're not getting something. And that's why I am going to be doing much, much more with the multi-generational work. I feel like there's a lot more there. I'm going to be pulling out a lot of that. There's just something about the idea that these children are, I don't know what it is. I have not seen, and maybe it's just in my lifetime, but are you guys noticing all of a sudden there's so many child abductions, so many child murders? It isn't that there weren't any before. Let me just say that. But maybe it's because it's in our face so much on the television, on, everywhere that we're seeing it. But I really, really believe there's so much of it going on. And I just want to see, let's see. Yeah, me too, Karen. Welcome. I just want to see, because I know Brooke said something. The whole neighborhood is oddly so much like the Watts neighborhood. Brooke, that's what I mean. Like that neighborhood is so much like the, I can't even believe it. Like, and you know what's funny? Did you notice? Okay, truth bumps. And guess what's breaking the case? The next door neighbor's freaking video. Okay? Hello, truth bumps. What is up with these people? They don't think they're going to be on camera? Like, I'm sorry, but now I get it. Like, I walk in Walmart. And, yeah, I do shop at Walmart. Sorry, I can admit that. But anyway, I'm in the South. What can I say? So I go in Walmart. I'm going, it's kind of sketchy in here. And I'm like, and I joke with my friends. I go, oh, this is the ghetto Walmart, you know? And they're like, why would you say that? That's so awful. I go, well, have you noticed that it has like 20 more cameras? And when I talked to the police here, I was like, yeah, that the Walmart over here is different than there. They go, well, there's more crime over there. I'm like, good to know. Good to know. So, yep. Thank you. I am feeling like there is such a ring doorbells right on True Crime Trish. I'm not a, hold on one second. I just want to say I'm not from Carolina. All right. Cause I know we're talking about like the Carolina transplants who go and do murders. That's okay. Let's see. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you, babe. Really good to see you. So glad Al has already filed for divorce. Who's Al? Bear with me. I'm missing something in there. Mom of four girls just said this. People are in their own bubble and don't recognize that they're being watched. But you know, can I be honest with y'all? If I was going to commit a felony, I'd be damn sure I'd know where the cameras were. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you go, hey, girl, I'm going to be killing someone. Like, you know, where are the cameras? Because at the very least, if I'm going to do it, I might as well let them get my good side. Tecia's husband. So Al is Gannon's dad. Okay, that's what I thought, because I was like trying to figure it out. Where was he and why is he suddenly with the biological mom? I guess it's because that's where the search is. Oh, wait a minute. She's probably come to Colorado, hasn't she? Or are they all there? I'm very confused. Sadly, that made me laugh. I know, it's kind of sick, right? But, you know, that's the thing. It's like, you know, I don't understand felony dumb. I really don't. And I think that this is going to sound really terrible, but I don't know what it is about these people that kill a child and then admit it. Now, don't get me wrong. I want them to. Okay. I totally want them to come forward. But, you know, like with the stepmom, they know everything. Okay. The only thing they haven't gotten from her is where the body is. And I have a feeling that once they discovered the first camera, they probably tapped into so many cameras. Has anybody watched that show? It's like one of my favorites. I think it's See No Evil. I can't get enough of that show. Okay. And the thing about it is that when I watch that show, I'm like, you know, because you could see all the cameras and how they follow people, and you're going, wow, that's creepy. This is how they get people. They see you on the video. They know you did it. And I can't tell you how many detectives I've spoken to. Yeah, okay, I'm totally going to get the coronavirus because I'm touching my face too much, but whatever. Yeah, I know, don't you? It's the best show. I'm just like, but anyway, what I'm thinking about is that I have a feeling that they followed her. Now, here's the thing that's very interesting. The minute in any kind of, I want to say police interrogation, right? Or not interrogation, what do you call it? Procedure. Duty Ron, where are you? Anyway, any kind of case that they're following, you know, I got to be honest with you. I have never, and this is very, and I used to, you know, play softball with one of the precincts in New York. So I used to talk to those guys a lot when I was younger. And I remember, like, you know, well, when you're, you know, investigating, they go, we know who did it. Most of the time, we know who did it, unless it's like a random stranger thing. And what I'm noticing, you guys, is that there was an entire, are you noticing this? In the 90s and even into recently, there's a lot of stranger on stranger, like they don't know each other, right? But the crimes that are becoming really like in front of us are the ones where they know each other. And those are the ones that I think are fascinating us more and more, because we're going, well, wait a minute, you know, we kind of know who did it. Well, that's the thing about police officers, right? Is they kind of 90% of the time, and listen, they make mistakes, but most of the time they know who did it, but the rest of the time is finding out information and proving their case, basically getting information. But what is up with these families, okay? And what is up with and I kind of have a whole new theory on this other case, Chris Watts. And I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought about it and I was like, oh my gosh, I know what happened to him. And I hired a genealogist. So I'm now going to be working with a genealogist on family dynamics in the tree to see what comes down to the person. So we can start to look at patterns in families. And my thinking about this is when we look at patterns, we can begin to see why things are happening, what influences are taking somebody in a certain direction, and how we can look at that and go, oh, once you discover it, you can break a pattern. See, that's what I find fascinating. So that is, ooh, I'm getting truth bumps. That's it. They do. Hey, Mary, they do need to make it stick. Yeah, this is going to be a really good one. Now, here's what I'm going to be doing, everybody, just so you guys know. In the coming weeks, I am going to be splitting this channel. I'm going to be doing this where you are right now. You're fine. Don't move. Don't change your seat. Don't even change the channel. This channel is going to be completely devoted to my true crime and some Tori talks when it's related to crime. And then my other channel is going to be my woo channel. That's going to be where I do chakra. That's going to be where I talk about my tarot, learning to read. I'll do more astrology. I'll do more in depth on how the influences of energy and astrology and all that fun stuff. I'll be doing that over there. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really feel that this channel and you guys, we have really grown, and it's grown to a point where I can't even sit down to do a video anymore because it's like I have to talk about one thing. And I'm thinking, I can't do that. I want to talk about different things. So I think that that's going to be more like lifestyle, me, who I am, life of an author. And you guys can come join me there when you're in the mood for that, or you can stay here and be, with me in the true crime. And as usual, I'm going to be bringing my own spin on things. That doesn't make it right, but it's just a new way of thinking about it. So what I want to say to you is that there is something about, and I don't know about you guys, I want to go to the house for a minute, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I worked with Jeff Lewis, right? And he's on Bravo Flipping Out. I was his psychic for a long time, and I would help him pick houses. And listen, when I say that, that sounds like I was doing work that he couldn't do. Jeff is brilliant, okay? But one of the things I was able to do is I could look energetically at different houses and say, no, that's not a good one. That has this going on. And sure enough, it did. So I'm not really I saw Jeff when I was in California in July. We had a bite, but I haven't, I'm not doing that anymore. But the reason I'm bringing that up to you is that one of the things I happen to be fairly good at is I can energetically feel in a house what's going on, right? Now, when we were originally talking about the Watts case, and even with this case with Gannon, this got too hot, so I had to unplug it for a minute. So what happened, sorry guys, what happened was when I was talking about those cases, I'm like, whoop. When I was talking about there we go. When I was talking about them, I wasn't really focused on the house. And I feel like sometimes, and I wasn't, because that was an old life, right? Monroe is a dog. She is so funny. She's so Jeff. I got to meet her when I was out there. She was a cutie. Thank you for bringing that up, Cruz Boston. So anyway, what I was going to say is that when I looked at the house, people were like, "Ooh, it's haunted," and there was a baby crying. I go, no, that wasn't that. Okay. The thing about the Watts house is that energetically, it was very bad. And now that I'm looking at it as a house and not as the crime house, if that makes sense. When I look at the house itself energetically, I can look at this house and like there was like behind the fence, there was like nothingness. Do you remember that about that house? Like they were building, but it was almost like abandoned in the background. It just had no life to it. And so it was very, but you see, to me, when we were looking at the case, and I'm going to talk about Gannon as well in a moment, because I want to get more into that case, because I feel like I don't understand why Gannon's dad divorced his mom. And I'm going to tell you why. I was looking at them. I'll come back to, because this is house stuff. I'm going to flip back and forth a little. When I was looking at Gannon's mom and dad, I almost felt, and truth bumps as I say this, I almost felt that Gannon wanted his parents back together. So much so that I think there's something in that energy that the stepmother resented. And I think that as a result of this situation, of what has happened, those two people might get back together. I'm getting truth bumps as I say this. I feel like they were meant to be together. And I really feel that this woman, okay, she was like this evil that came in. And I can't explain it. Truth bumps. I don't know how their relationship formed, but it really feels like she was like that temptress, that person that gets into the middle of things. And I feel like one of the things that I'm seeing is that there's more and more people killing for what they think is their relationship. Like, just to give you an example, and I'm using this as a parallel, and we look over at the Watts case, we think, oh, he killed his family for the girl. Well, I feel like this woman, the stepmom, killed to just forever destroy the union of those two other people. I really kind of have the sense, I don't know what their what their thing is, but I feel that Gannon's mom had a lot of personal problems, and I feel like that destroyed the marriage. And I feel that energy, this is going to sound so strange to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. That saying, and it's coming forward to me, is that idea of like what God joined, let no man, pull asunder? I forget what it is, but I really, really feel that there's something there, okay, and this is what's kind of like getting me a little, is that when I look at those homes, now let's go back to the house. And I have to get more of a picture of the house that Gannon was living in, but I'm telling you, it's an identical house. When they did a shot of the outside of the house, I went, why are they back at the Watts residence? It doesn't make sense because that house that Gannon was taken away from, dude, I always call my friends dude. So I was like, dude, like I have a friend who's British, and now she starts going, dude. And I'm like, that sounds so weird with a British accent. So anyway, so I'm telling you that what's happening here is that something is hollow in that house. Like now that I feel there's no one in that house, and I'm the Watts house and now Gannon's house, I feel like there's an echo in there. There's something, I don't know what it is, but actually I do know what it is. You know how sometimes you'll hear things about like homes built on like sacred ground or something? I wonder, okay, whatever. Yeah. Okay. I just want to, okay. Some people get a little freaked out. He divorced the mother because he was having an affair with his current wife. Of course. Oh my gosh. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Now I can look at the dynamic of it. Okay. I don't know about you, but have you ever, don't take this the wrong way, but have you ever been the other woman? And I don't mean the other woman like when someone was together. Like I've dated a guy, for example, I dated a guy who had broken up with an ex-girlfriend, right? And they were broken up. They were broken up for like a year after, when I met him, so he was single. And I noticed I went out with him for just a couple months, but after about 3 months, I was like, all he did was talk about her. And I kind of went, but in a weird way, yeah, she said this and she did this. And I thought, and finally one day I said to him, you know what? You need to be with her. And he was like, what? I said, all you do is talk about her and it's not going to work with you and me. Well, he later married her. But here's the point I'm making. A lot of females here's the thing. A lot of women, not everybody, by the way, but women who get in the middle of something or pull a man away or try to win him, she didn't win. Like, even being with him, I bet you anything that the child's a reminder every day of the family she destroyed. And not only that, what's going on with his mom, Gannon's mom, that she would let the affair take care of her child? See, there's something not right there. And the reason I say it is because if she's in recovery, it's one of those things where you kind of forgive and blah, blah, blah. But here's what I want to say. I do believe that those two people might be meant to be together. And I think that there's something about putting things back in order. And I don't know how to explain that because it's something that's in my brain, but it's not quite working as I say it. Let's see. Frankie filed a page to leave the keys. Yeah. What does he say? What did Frankie file the page? I don't know what that means. Oh, something against a particular page? Oh, Dave, can you clarify that? I don't know what that means. Because I had a really lovely note from Frankie. I actually have it. It was really nice saying thank you. So I'm not sure. I don't really. Okay. So one of the things that I think that, I don't know what Dave said, so I'm, Sergio, you're going to be fine. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, you're going to be absolutely fine. You know what? I'm just going to tell you right now so you can not worry. I'm going to talk. Do y'all want me to talk about that for a minute? The Corona. I'm telling you, if they renamed the beer to Corona Soap, they'd make a fortune. Let me see. I felt the connection between them at the press conference. Thank you, Jody Lynn. Jody Lynn just said, I felt the connection between them at the press conference holding hands. I did too. I'm going to say one thing because Frankie really needs, Sergione needs a shout out and a little bit of prayer from us. He's positive for the coronavirus. And I want to say this, you're going to be absolutely fine. And I am sending you lots of love and lots of light for healing. I feel like it's just, it's a bad cold, but I do feel you're going to be okay. So I just want to let you know you're going to be fine. So we're going to just send you that light. Okay, let's see. It's okay to be scared, Sweet Pea. I'm going to tell you something. You're supposed to be scared because the entire idea of publicity and press is to terrify you. Because you see, if they have you terrified, then you'll watch them. It's sort of like this. When I was little, there was this show on called what was it? Dark Shadows, right? And it was so scary. It was about this family of vampires. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was terrified. And I remember I'd watching, I can't watch it. I'd run out of the room and I'd go, what's happening with Barnabas? The point I'm making is it's perfectly normal to be scared. And what I want to say to you is that you're going to be okay. All right. Drink lots of water and treat this like a flu. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Dave. Okay, I understand. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it is bait. Cruise Boston, it's totally bait. Yeah. So I really want to send that energy to Sergio as well. Prayers for him. Thank you, Laura. None of your business. I love you. I love that name. Who's the mom of the little sister? Aren't those two people? Aren't Gannon's dad Al and Gannon's mom? They had the two children together. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Adriana. Thank you. That was really lovely. She said because when you lose a child like that, you will connect. And by the way, there's really two ways to go with that. People either completely split apart when they lose a child and they cannot communicate ever again, or they come together. And that is really, I remember hearing about that, and that is really a scientific thing. And Sergio, we're not worried about you. Just go watch funny movies. Seriously, just be happy because you know what? You're young. You're going to be fine. Okay, let me just. How long was Tecia married to Al? I think it was 2 years. Um, AD is kind of a what's a DB? Is that like a dumbbell? I don't know what that means. Anyone know? Yeah, how long were they married? Okay, I know we're having like 100 conversations. I love it tonight. Yes, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to say something about Al and his real wife. That's a hell of a woman, okay? That's a hell of a woman that accepted him with his mistakes. And if truth bumps, if he doesn't recognize it, he is dumber than I ever could like imagine anybody is. Because you know what? I see this with men that have a chance to come back and redo something. And you know, sometimes the way I see, ooh, I'm getting truth bumps on this. The way I see this kind of thing is remember that when somebody loses a child, you know, this is a hard one because it's kind of like that child has come for as long as they can be with that person. It's not, and I know that sounds terrible. I did a video called When a Loved One Dies, and it really is, I did that for somebody who lost a child. And because I had a lot of, in the old days when I was doing a lot of those kinds of readings, I wanted to share with her to help her feel better. And it did. So it's a really solid video about that experience. Let's see. You never know. You ever find it strange with the Watts case how many people have Lee in their names? I always thought that was weird. I'm glad you said that. But you know, here's the thing you're going to notice, Dave, and I'm glad Dave brought this up. One of the things that happens is you always get signs. Like I really believe that God shows us coinky dinks. He shows us like that's what I have one of my friends who's the angriest woman in America. She always says, you know, that's a God funny. Because when we see those kind of connections like Lee, or Nicole, Nikki, you know, Nico, what the heck? There are, you know, when you see those kinds of connections and you like, it's like kind of God going, see? And then the other thing is that I noticed, like with astrology, you know, a lot of times when I do astrology, I'll see, what is that? You have like 5 people, like all born in the same month, or they're all perfectly trying to each other. In other words, it's like exactly 4 months apart, or they had the same birthday, like November 19th and April 19th, like the day. And so you're going to notice there are patterns if we choose to see them. There are also patterns in the way we live and the homes we choose to live in. So when you look at, and this is something that I'm noticing, and I don't know 100%, but when I look at homes like, and I'm going back to the Watts home, you know, all that space, those big living rooms, right? And it just feels like this empty container. Energetically for me, I almost see that as one of those huge, I want to say oil containers, because it was just this big vat, you know, and there was just this big space. And then upstairs, everybody's in this little weird space. They're all connected. And so there's something about the way those homes were built that it was like, you know, it's kind of a weird, it's kind of this weird synchronicity. So when you start to look at the idea that, you see, God gives us clues all the time. And you know, the one thing that we never talked about is that, you know, and again, I don't want to drag this through the mud again, but I'm looking at like truth bumps. We can look at this hindsight 2020. One of the things I wanted to say is that, and I'm glad Dave brought that up, I really don't want to look at Shanann's family, and only because I really want to look, I'm more interested if my theory that I've kind of recognized why he did it, it suddenly hit me, and I want to check out my theory by looking at the family tree. And I was sharing with this woman who's a genealogist, and she's a criminologist, so check that out. I was sharing with her about how I have this uncanny ability to look at somebody's family tree and tell what wounds they're here to heal or what their wounding will be. So I'm really interested in looking at some of those family trees and seeing, especially with criminals. So we have a couple that are going to be coming up. I'm definitely doing the Watts case. I'm also going to be doing, because I really feel that I want to do the Harami case. I know Harani case, the Sabrina Harani case, the girl who was bludgeoned to death. And the reason I want to bring that up is because I feel like it's really important that we bring up crimes that are like not told as well. But I want to come back to Gannon because I really feel like, there is something here. There's something very powerfully here about, and I can like energetically look at a house, right? So if I look at that house, and so many people said, oh, it's evil. Oh, it's this. And I really feel when I look at that house, like energetically, there's something under it. There's something that runs right under it. And okay, you guys have heard this. Sometimes like people who build houses and they're heavy power lines, those big things, and there's heavy power lines over it, people in those homes get cancer, right? Because we don't recognize sometimes the amount of energy that is coming at us with some of these things. So I wonder, it's like they say, I'm hearing, okay? I'm hearing that these things are getting, remember I told you my friend who's the angriest woman in America, she's the one who's great, really fun conspiracy theories. So one of hers is, I know she'd be like, are you really saying that about me? I'm like, yeah. So she has this great stuff. She thinks that the 5G has gone too far. She thinks that's too much energy in the air. And I wonder what's going on, what's being built around Frederick. What was there before? And the reason I say this to you is, it's not good to, Mama don't like it when you build on like sacred ground. Just saying, you know what I'm talking about, Okay, Stephanie just said we have a lot of birthday coincidences in our family. Now, why do you think that happens? I'll tell you why. Because it is energetically, when you see those deep connections, it's because you came here for a reason. And what you came here to do was heal the wounds of a particular relative, not your parents. Not many people think, oh, I'm here to, no, it's not the parents. But I'll talk about that later. What did Alice say? I miss this stuff. Great stuff. Let me see. See, you know what that YouTube is now doing, you guys, which sucks, is that are you noticing that the live chats are disappearing? They're taking them down. They're taking them down if they feel they're like charged with some kind of wrong thing. It's so stupid. So here's the thing you want to look at in your family, okay? Hey, and by the way, Stephanie, I want to shout out to my mods. Stephanie and Cruz Boston, love you guys. Just fabulous. Cruz Boston just said, my neighbor just moved away down the street. She's down the down the street neighbor, due to a huge new cell tower. And you know what? She's lucky, because let me tell you something. These waves that are going through the air at like massive speeds, not everybody can handle it. And I know that sounds like conspiracy theory, but you know what? The things that sounded crazy 15 or 20 years ago are now coming true. I remember in the 80s before the 80s, my dad said, Ronald Reagan, nobody's going to vote for an actor. So, we can't look at anything as that will never happen. We have to look at it as there's a reason. There's a reason these things are going on, and it has a lot to do with where we've come from. And I think that when we look at these homes that are being built, these new homes, everybody's like, oh, I want a new home. Okay, that's great. Because, when I got my house in California, the one Jeff did, I tell you what, I had a ghost in that house for the longest time. And you know how I knew there was a ghost? It wasn't unpleasant or anything. So I kind of like to move into homes that have no vibe. Nothing, clean, okay? Because I can't, they keep me up at night. Anyway, there was a ghost in that house. And I turned to, at the time, later, my ex, and at the time he wasn't, and I said, you know what? I have a feeling this woman was really unhappy in this house because she stayed here. She's still looking for her husband. Well, it was the strangest thing, because for some reason he ran into somebody who knew the people who lived in the house. And sure enough, he comes back and he's like, you're scaring me again. I said, what do you mean? Because the woman who lived in this house, her husband died, and she kind of lost it and never believed that he died. She just thought he was missing. I was not telling you, she's in the house because of that. So what happened was I finally, one morning, I went into my office. And when there's a spirit around, there's two ways you feel it. You either feel an incredible cold, like because they're dead, right? So they don't have the same body temperature we have. So I can't believe I'm getting into this. Is this okay with you guys? Is this all right? Is it at least interesting? Oh no, let me see. Okay, good, Connie. Okay. So one of the things, yeah, Ursula Harvey, you got to fill us in. Okay, I'll come back to this. I'm having strange physical symptoms. I wonder if it's caused by these new towers. Yeah, get away from the freaking towers. I am sorry. This is the thing. So I want to talk about the house in a second, but down the street here, they want to build an entire new highway. Okay, and they're like, it's going to be so great because we have, and look, you guys, we can call it housing, right? So there's housing down there. And I live in a town where it's like, oh, those poor people, we have to help them. But meanwhile, what they want to do is they want to we don't want to put an exit near them. We don't want to disrupt their housing, but we're just going to do a big highway flyover, and what we're going to do to help them with the sound. Isn't this brilliant? Put 30-foot concrete walls. Of course, I'm in the meeting. Everybody hates me anyway, but I'm sitting there and I go, you guys are kidding, right? And they're all looking at me. I go, so you're going to take the people who have probably the highest crime rate in the city, and you're going to build 30-foot concrete walls? What are you preparing them for? And everyone, oh, that's so, and I'm like, no, it's ridiculous. Just don't build it over them. Don't do it. Don't put towers over them. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to give them a green walkway. I go, they don't want your green walkway. They don't want your freaking walkway. They want education. I just hate ignorance. I do, guys. That'll get me going all day long. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to this. True crime, Trish. I really think chronically Ronnie. It's interesting, chronically Ronnie, that you say chronically and you've moved and feel better. Yes. Okay. So Jody Lynn just said she's a truther. Yes. 5G is awful. Why do you think I have her around? Because she's always like, nah, that's going to happen. Now this is going to happen. And she's right. Okay. You go and other people be like, and I love people like this because she's so funny. She's like, I don't like that guy. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm like, okay. She comes over and she says, I really don't like you and I don't want to talk to you. Now, that's not the nicest way to be, okay? But in a funny way, he kind of he walked away. I can't believe she'd speak to me that way. I go, well, how do you want her to speak to you? He said, well, at least, make niceties. I go, that's not her. And he's like, oh. I said, so there's nothing nice to say. She's just not that person. She doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't waste your time or hers. And you know what? I had a friend who used to do this to me all the time. He'd go, why aren't women just honest? Why don't they just tell you what they really feel? I'm like, well, why not? I'd be like, And sure enough, one day because these women would say, oh, I can't make it. So I go away from it. And one day he said, I can't believe this woman. I said, what? He said, we went on a couple dates. It was great. And I called her to ask her out, and she said, I really don't feel that we're compatible, but thank you. He said, how dare she? And I'm like, shh. Okay. And scene. Okay. See, this is can I be honest with all of you? The best thing's going on in the chat right now. And unfortunately, are you guys noticing that they're taking away the chat when you do a replay? I don't know. I can't see it. I think people can make themselves sick with stress or grief, and it creates chemical changes in the brain. Oh my gosh. I just sent out the meanest letter to my whole neighborhood. I'm like, I am just the troubled girl. Okay. Okay. What is it? Towers are no different from when video games started coming out and kids were having seizures from the flashes. That I don't remember. So I can't speak to that, Dave. I see the chat, but I have to look for it. Okay, I don't know. Usually it's on the side, the chat, but when I go for a replay, it doesn't. Oh, Ursula. Stop. It has nothing to do with Letitia Gannon. We started on her and we're on to something else, but we will come back. What happened was actually, Ursula, we were on something. Let me share with you. Where we were was I mentioned right away And we've started rolling into houses because I asked if anybody knew the difference between, I mean, could see the similarity between the Watts home and the Gannon's home. Okay, seriously. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because the houses are identical. So when I was watching the TV and I was just, because I had the sound off and I was watching the police going in and getting evidence from Gannon's home, and I said, why are they showing the Watts house? Is this like a same city or what's going on? And then they did another angle and I went, oh my God, this is the like I turned on the volume and that's when I realized that was Gannon's house, but it's the identical footprint of the Watts house. I mean, it just looks like it. And the other thing that was weird is the next door neighbor who has video. He's the one that broke the case by giving it to the police. So when we first saw the video of Chris Watts, it was the same kind of thing here. So I was making the association with homes, and that's when we got into the entire conversation around towers and how, all of that energy going through. And I was saying that a lot of Colorado is sacred ground. A lot of the Southwest, Arizona, gosh, I'm thinking of all those places, New Mexico, it's all sacred Indian ground. And so I wondered if these builders are just like, they did this in the 60s and 70s, guys. Remember, they would just sweep everything under the carpet and they would build on there was a whole scandal in El Segundo in California where they built on marshland and the houses were sinking. So, I mean, there's a lot of that going on. So Ursula, thank you. We were talking about it, and it segued from the homes into the idea of patterns, right? And so when we look at patterns and coming back to that idea, we got off on these other conversations because we all began to look at, oh my gosh, how close am I to a power station? How much is the 5G affecting us? And really, when we look at, and this is another thing that's very important, look at the time of everything that's going on. There are so many interesting things happening right now energetically. I really believe that, and this is my own thing, I think the coronavirus was around a long time. I think it was around and we didn't know it. I'm going to tell you, I think it became an epidemic in China because the fact is that the lab was like half a mile or not even a couple blocks from Wuhan. And so I think where the virus was, it got out. And they said, oh, it came from a bat. Yeah, it came from a bat, okay, but it didn't come from what they think it was. So when I'm looking at all these conspiracy theories, the thing I want to say to you, what if they're true? What if some of the things that we now need to pay attention to were things we would have ignored a couple of years ago? So when we look at the idea of, if you're going to come in, I'm getting truth bumps, if you're going to come in as the other woman, which Tecia was, right? Let me tell you something. Somebody who is playing second fiddle is always got something going on. They are disturbed. Now, some people work on themselves and they get, they get better and they move on. Okay. And I'm not going to say, I don't want to say that those things aren't meant to be sometimes, but they're not if murder is involved. You see, when a parent or any parent, a step parent, kills a child in the name of love, there is something that, well, we know it's not right, but there's something going on where we are not seeing what's obvious. And I hate to say that because that's what it kind of starts to feel like. I think we all have a very similar idea about the coronavirus. I think that, and the other thing I want to say is, I think it has been around for a long time, chronically, Ronnie. And here's why I think. We're just now getting the tests, right? And I want to say kudos to all of the pharmaceutical companies in America. Thank God they're all coming together. Thank God everything is kind of coming together where they are working hard on this. But I want to tell you, how is it that people are just suddenly popping up with it? And there are people being tested that have no connection to. Now, here's the thing. I think I get nervous every time I open a package from China now. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, but I really feel like this has been around for a long time. It's just that it's not lethal to us. See, I think that a lot of the people in China, it may be lethal to, but how can you explain? And there was a woman on TV today. How can you explain, like, some people tested positive, and it's so funny, positive, right? There was this one woman who was like, I felt fine. I was sick for a couple hours. I had a little fever, and I'm just quarantined now, and I'm doing great. And she has such a great attitude. But the thing is, I think it continues, you guys. I think good people have good outcomes. At the end of the day, um, it's like it does have a lot to do with ill intentions or good intentions. And I really feel if we look at Letitia and we look at what she did, she had a lot of ill intentions. And I think she destroyed a marriage. She got her man, right? So check this out. It goes back to that other crime, right? It's like, what if Nikki had gotten her man? Like, what if that had happened, right? We look at the next thing of like, now this woman got her man and she killed his child. So some is not like, this is not like the elevator's not going all the way to the top. You know what I'm saying? There is something going on here that is just not right. Um, and I think, Brooke, listen, we know she only cares about herself, but the thing is that it's deeper than that. If we want to slice a little deeper, and I like that you say that, I think if we go a little deeper, and I think that she only cares about herself. If we go a little deeper, I think that she's only trying to survive what she thinks is going to threaten her. So you see, when people are in survival mode, they will do anything. They will do anything. They will do the most heinous things ever to survive. And I only need to point Nazi Germany to you to make that point, that when people are in terror, they will do anything to survive. And so we can see that there is an entire, that what we're seeing here is people who we know, we can easily say, yeah, she only cares about herself. So did so did these other people who are killing children or killing people. But the thing is that deeper than that, they are still in survival mode. They're still fighting. Do you notice that? I think it was great. Duty Ron had this fabulous video on, and this has to do with this case, by the way. He had a fabulous video on about a city council guy, it was a council at large, and he's effing this, effing that to all the police. But you see, that's not about that. It's about he's fighting something. He's still fighting. It's kind of like, how they call shadow boxing, right? Fighting something that doesn't exist. And so something I want to say about Gannon, when we look at this sweet little boy, I mean, the sweetest little boy ever, I think that it breaks my heart, because I look at how this woman was completely, it's not just that she was selfish. I think she knew she was losing her husband. I think she knew Gannon wanted to go back to mommy. And I think she knew that the husband regretted his decisions. So I think that was all for her to try to get back to the husband. Or more importantly, if he was leaving her, she's going to be, really, you're leaving me? Because I'll take what you love. Ooh. I know, Stephanie, right? Okay. He was probably about to leave her. True crime, Trish. Aren't we great minds think alike? Okay. Yeah. And the thing that we want to say is that, wait, I believe she wanted to hurt her husband. Who? Pre-law. Who is that? Wait, was he going to leave her? That's the only thing I can see in the survival mode. Mama 4 girls. I think so. I have a funny feeling that there was something going on there between she and him, because if you remember in his statement, because he couldn't say anything, he just was like, I'm going to have you read the statement. I think he's afraid of her. I think he's afraid of that stepmom, because think of it this way. All right, I might have an ex, right? Or I might have a friend who has an ex who's dangerous, right? I would never get up and have you know how I like to talk. I would never say anything against someone who I thought was dangerous. I might have the DA make a statement, but I would never say anything, because you see, it tells me that this Letitia, she's crazy like a fox. And I think she manipulated the whole thing. And when you look at that mother, She was innocent, and she was very vulnerable, and she was a real person. And I think the husband went after, if you will, forgive me for putting it this way, because I don't mean it biblically, but I think he went after the devil. I think he went after, and I think what he lost was not only his dignity, but he lost his son. And I don't think he'll ever forgive himself. Did anyone see Trisha be a blabbermouth with the reporter interviewer? It was fabulous for law enforcement. I saw some of that. Thank you, Stephanie. Good to see. Hey guys, if you would think of it, can you give this a thumbs up and just, just a, even a thumbs down, it helps. Okay. Believe it or not. Let's see. Did anyone leave blabbermouth? Yeah. What did she say? Because I only saw the back of her head. Okay. That was all I saw. Yeah, I want to know more about Gannon's sister. I want to know a little bit more about what was going on there. The daughter's 17. Which daughter, Cruz Boston? Is that, do you mean the daughter of Gannon's parents? Oh, did she? I missed that part. I've got to go look at it. Oh, yeah, she went crazy. Letitia, she went total nutty cuckoo on that guy. Apparently she beat the crap out of an officer. I think it was a corrections officer, and he got taken to the hospital. She's crazy. She did the whole interview with the back of her head. Okay, so Letitia at one point said, I only want to talk to this reporter. I don't know why, but she said, oh, the truth's going to come out. And the way she was speaking, I'm like, what are you talking about? What, the truth that you killed this boy? And here's the thing I'm really thinking about, and I'm like, I really think that if she goes off on a grown man like that, I can only imagine how she went off on this little boy. Now, I want to point out that the deaths that I've seen lately, and when I look at, I go back to Sabrina Haruni, for example, the beating, the rage it takes. And what I want to say about that is that this is like, you're not going to get me. And it's just such rage. So what I want to say is, if she went off on an officer like that, I can only imagine what she did to this little boy. Now, what I see and where I feel he is, what Letitia did, she somehow went to Petco and left her phone there by accident. Then she goes with the boy somewhere. She comes back to Petco, gets her phone, so they have no trace of where she went. Now, I wonder though, and this is because, the cell phone towers, I wonder though, if she has some kind of, I wonder if there's some kind of, in a GPS in a car, I wonder if they can track that somehow. I want to just see, because you guys are really good. I was like, I think it was jealousy and resentment that she went overboard and got scared and took Gannon somewhere and finished him off because she didn't want to go to jail. See, I think honestly, I think none of your business. I think you're kind of onto it. I do agree to some degree. I think what happened was, I think that kid looks like he is just someone who would speak up. He looks like someone who would speak his mind. If you remember the mom, when she was saying that's, Gannon's my hero, meaning that little boy stood up for his mom. And, little boys do that. They become mommy's hero. So I guarantee that he probably, that woman is bat crazy, right? So I guarantee he probably said to her, you know what? My dad's going to go back to my mom if you keep behaving this way, because my mom's better than you. Just saying. And that's just, and by that age, boys start to know what's going on. Okay. They start to, and let me tell you something, kids from abused families, and those of you who have been abused or been subjected to divorce or kind of confusing things in a family, you know what's going on. You knew the minute your dad or mom left. You knew. And this is the thing. It's like we pretend that a 7 or 8-year-old doesn't know. They know. And by the way, he probably said, my dad's leaving you. If he was. Let me see. I heard she tried to escape from custody. Yes, that was such a, poor Gannon, terrorized. Yeah, I know. The thing I want to say about this, though, about Gannon, and it's very interesting. I keep going back to the hero thing. When I keep hearing Bella singing, "My daddy is my hero," and then I look at this woman, Gannon's mom, saying, "He's my hero." And I wonder when I look at these things if there isn't something, I feel like there's some kind of pattern in these cases, and I'm not sure what it is. And I have a feeling that it will come to me as I look at family trees, but I have to see them first. Let me see. Makes me sick. She looks too creepy when she was being transported. Let me tell you something. That woman is really, really, that's what I thought. Al is Gannon's dad. Does anybody understand the dynamic between Al and the mom? Because I've been trying to find out. Um, Let me see. Someone posts screenshot of a post suing. There were teeth everywhere, and how they know he's dead. Oh no, I don't want to say it. Enough blood splatter. Oh God, Leisha, I hope you're wrong. Yeah, I don't know what I keep wanting to say it's Latisha. Is it Latisha or Tisha? Parents need a lot of positive support. I agree, Tracy. Yeah, I don't think she sung that for her dad, Cruz Boston. Let me just see something. Yes, T said she is a hero because Sven Al from A Bad Marriage. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Sven Al means from A Bad Marriage. I don't know. Okay. So Letitia, that's what I thought. I keep wanting to go. His real mom didn't care for him for some reason. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think she couldn't. I have a feeling the mom was going through some kind of recovery. Leisha, does she have aliases? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Both families from the Carolinas moved to Colorado for years. What is up with that, right? Okay. She has numerous aliases. Who has aliases? I'm trying to get. I know I don't. Now I'm this. This is it. This is as much as you get. Can I tell you something? Yeah. It's my way or the highway. And I really think she was like, I'm not going to lose this man. I think, let's see, video T had her phone between her and Gannon. Did you hear the video T had on the phone? No! God, I miss everything. I've got to do more on this. Decided to let the kids stay with Al. Oh, that's what it was. That makes a lot of sense now because I get it. You know what I think energetically? I have a feeling the mom just couldn't care for them. She was probably so shattered about her marriage coming apart. Okay. Allie Cattails said, my understanding is that T was friends with Landon, the mom, the birth mom, beforehand, and that Landon may have had some addiction issues. That makes a lot of sense. I don't think we should put any blame on the biological mother. She's going through enough. We're not putting anything on her at all. I think you're kind of like you're veering left, her Wonderland. I don't think you're on point with that one. Because I think we're just discussing what happened, but not in any mean way, and any mean way with that mother. I have to tell you, I think she was lovely, and I think she was absolutely gracious. And so I think that mother was, I think she was lovely, the Gannon's mom. Well, that's it. Gannon's parents had a good relationship. I just feel they were meant to be together. Landon has 2 young girls and had rough pregnancies and needed Al to take the kids. Okay. All right, Carolyn, I'm definitely going to listen to Carrie Lynn. Like, I've said that wrong a few times, right? Okay, I'll get that. Yes, exactly. Mama 4 girls, Tori Hartman is just trying to know the facts. That's what I'm really trying to get. No, I'm not being disrespectful at all. I'm trying to understand. And I think that, one of the things I want to say about this is that this is a completely tragic situation. This little boy was so sweet, and you could see it. You can see he kind of was a little sharp, and you can tell he was a smart kid. I think that I can't help but think that that there was something going on where the mom, who looks lovely, by the way, she really seems like this really, I got to tell you, it's almost like this this spirit, and I mean, when I say spirit, I don't mean it like woo woo. I mean like a lovely soul, somebody who you would want to sit down and say, "How are you, Landon?" And let her tell you the truth. I kind of got that feeling, but I think sometimes what happens, and it could be that Al wandered off, and I really feel, it's not a good thing for him. Her Wonderland said several people have been saying horrible things about the biological mother, and I think it's disgusting, not in here, just in general. Yeah, you know what? I think what happens sometimes, and I'm glad you said that, Her Wonderland, is that sometimes what happens is that we think like somebody's being mean when they're trying to understand. And then the other thing is the having to just be civil even when people are being holes. Okay. And I think that's tricky. So, but I think I really have to say that Landon and Al, I really feel that they're supposed to be together. And I think that it's kind of what Gannon wants. And I really kind of like, it's funny, I can almost hear him saying to his stepmom, "I don't want you here. You're wrong. You shouldn't be here. Like, it really needs to be my mom and my dad. And I want you to, when you get a chance, go look at her face. It's creepy. All right. So I'm just saying. So, by the way, if you are here and you have just joined us, we have been talking about a lot of different things. We started with Gannon. We started talking about how the house that ultimately was the home from which he came, and he was not murdered in the home. But we were talking about how the home was very similar between that and the Watts house. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I saw a picture of Gannon's home, I was like, what? Why are they showing the Watts house? Like, I really thought it was maybe they got a mistake on the tape. And then I started thinking about, and I want to kind of get an aerial view of that house, because I feel like, and in this case, though, I really have to tell you, I think she's insane. I think this woman is, that show, oh my gosh, I can't even watch it half the time, Diabolical. I think she's diabolical. I think she had everything planned, and I think that she felt that Gannon was going to be in the way. And you know what happens too, and when I do coaching, people call it readings, but I really call it energetic coaching. When I do these ideas of, people have an idea of what something's supposed to look like, and this is what it's going to be, and I go, okay, well, are you okay with that? Yeah. I go, what if you don't get it? What do you mean? And it's kind of like, you have to be married to the idea, but divorced from the outcome. And that's really what life is about. You can like something, you can want something to happen, but if you are completely married to the outcome, you will do anything to get it. And in many ways, you will destroy your own self-esteem. You will just, and I don't know how many of you said, "I'm never doing that again," and you did it again. That's what that's about. Trying to change the way things are. Okay. Love autocorrect. Let's see. Jack was a recovering alcoholic. Who's Jack? Let's see. I don't want to be on the news, but if I am, please be aware I'm just fulfilling my part of some project. I don't know what that means, Fox, but we get you. I thought I was having flashbacks on the houses. Carrie Lynn, that's what I thought too. I'm not kidding you. So weird. Let's see. I don't know what happened to Tecia from high school to now, but that is not the girl I went to school with. She doesn't seem to have any soul left. So Bridget, I wonder, and Bridget Hunt, welcome. And welcome Donna, welcome Connie. One of the things I want to ask you then, Bridget, because you went to high school with her. In high school, were you aware of any family dynamics? Were her parents divorced? Did she have a brother who was favored over her? Did somebody in her family die? Do you know anything about her in that? That would be interesting to hear. What did Fox say? PFF Bolte. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I'm going off on my own thought trail. Well, Connie, you just go. You come back when you can. Okay, Tecia has a bunch of different names and prior charges with the police. It seems every charge she changed her name. Oh, gosh. Yeah, we love the differences of opinion. It's really interesting. Wait. Pre-law, I'm trying to follow this. Hold on, it's my eyes. And I say this never having been an addict, just having my own illness that took me away from being a full-time mama for a while. You know what? I've been there, and not with the mom, but I've been there, like having some problems, and boy, it's awful. Um, it's like if she admitted she needed help, then I couldn't imagine judging her. That's so hard. You know what? That's the hard part. Um, you know, and I think Bridget said it. If she was so sweet, then it makes a lot of sense that that ultimately a mom, any mom, knowing, and what a great mom Landon must be to know that she couldn't care for her baby and that she trusted this other woman. Um, if it feels like a pattern of moms on the news, you aren't wrong. Well, that makes sense. But I think that oh, Kathy, you're so funny. I love your nail color. Actually, it is it's called Unstoppable. Isn't that great? It's a charity nail set, and I love it. I just got crazy with it. It's thanks for asking, by the way. It's this one. Oh, wait, I'll show you, because I put this other, okay, so this is what it looks like. How fun is that? Because that's the all illnesses. It's for mental illness and for learning disabilities. So they do a charity nail every month, Color Street does, and what I did was I went overboard with this particular charity because I really feel a lot of kinship with people who have learning disabilities, because I have ADHD, and we work with these disabilities every day. We deal with our lives, and that's why I guess I relate to Landon so much, is that the courage it takes to say I can't take care of my child. And what I did, if you notice, this finger, whoop, it's not the middle one. This finger, I actually just took this and I added the little accent. So I kind of created something a little different with it. So I was just having fun, and yeah. So that's Color Street. Actually, the link to order is down below. Yeah, I think I'll put it down below if you don't have it. Isn't it fun? I know, it's so fun. I started selling this back in July, and it has given me nothing but joy, you guys. I know that sounds strange, but I think it really was a lot from Shanann, because I like it. I like the product, and so I wanted to sell it. So it was really fun. And I really, I was afraid, because people were going, "Ooh, that's an MLM," and it's like, well, what if I just want to sell it? Is that okay? And then I was like, well, you know what? It's $130 to buy into it. I'm not losing my house. It's fun. So that's what I did. Okay. Fox 5. I think narcissism is an invented medical diagnosis. Okay. I don't know who you are, Fox 5 love, but you're on to like what I'm going with here. It's like a magic trick. And you know what? By the way, that's something that lawyers invent. Every few years, it was a number of years ago, narcissism was one of the reasons people divorced. And that now it's a new thing. It just moves on and on. Let's see. Also invented hysteria. Well, that's attributed to women. They try to say that women are hysterical, right? Because then they can win. Let's see. Dangerous meaning women are crazy. Should be, yeah, exactly. Pretty close. Thank you, Evie. Evie, good to see you. Haven't seen you in forever. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's Alma Home Week. She didn't give me a creepy vibe, just short-tempered and troublemaker. Okay. Bridget went to school with Tecia. She didn't give me a creepy vibe, just short-tempered and troublemaker. Always picking and playing, but in an agitating way. If I remember correctly, she called in a bomb threat in high school. See, what does this tell you? This is somebody who needs attention. She has to win. She has to have everybody focusing on her, and she gets to look at what she's done. I'm going to tell you, I think something like that is akin to, the old days when we saw, like, if a kid killed a cat or tortured a cat, that's a serial killer. I have a feeling, and I want to tell you, somebody who does something like that is screaming, please pay attention to me. That's just, thank you for that information, Bridget. Is it Bridget? I want to make sure. I'm sorry, I jumped. This is great, you guys. I'm having so much fun with you tonight. Let's see. Wendy, good to see you. Let's see. I know, Alexander, what is it about her name? Did you even see her face after they brought her to court and she's sitting there? And it's just like, she's so creepy. Who calls in bomb threats? Right? In original diagnosis, narcissism was appointed to anyone who resisted diagnosis. Yes, that is so true. I don't know who you are. It's probably Dr. Phil, No, I'm kidding. Wouldn't that be funny? Dr. Phil has got a secret name on here. Okay. I wonder if there's blood splatter on the truck. Oh, Wendy, you are just so CSI. Let's see. I'm like going through a lot lately. One of my ex-boyfriends that was 12 years older than me got murdered in Chicago in January. Michelle, what up? Oh gosh, I'm going to tell you guys something. I had an old boyfriend who I was always friends with. He was a lovely person, and he actually took his own life a couple years ago, and I still think of him. And Michelle, that's just tragic. So I really want to say that is just it, and I'm sorry for your loss. I know that's just because you feel so alone. Let's see, kids that want attention will do anything to get it. Okay, here's the thing CH said, which I think is what I was going to say too, is kids that want attention will do anything to get it, good, bad, or indifferent. I feel like, okay, and scene. I mean, that's, Tecia thought she was a good interviewee. Well, I'm sure she did. But here's the thing. Notice how her back is to the camera. Notice what Bridget said. I don't know if it's true, but she called in a bomb threat. This is not somebody who's going to step out and go, look what I did. I know. I love Stephanie Blooms. Okay. Wendy, you were just like, I'm telling you, Wendy, where is your magnifying glass? You're so cute. She's like, there's probably a cadaver. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I see around Gavin. Gavin, come over here. Everybody wants to see you. Let me see if I can get him up. He had an apple earlier. He loves apples. Apple. Who's this for? Gavin, come here. I was going to say Gannon. Gavin, where are you, buddy? Come on. Okay, come on. He's coming. Come up here. Up. Come. But because if you're not up here, if you don't say hi to everybody, it's just like not a normal Saturday. Okay, thank you for coming to visit me. So no, you got to look this way, buddy. There you go. Look at that handsome face. Okay, so we're talking about Gannon. Okay. Doesn't want to talk about him. I don't blame you. I wouldn't bother. So when we talk, thank you for joining us though. Okay, he's gonna go finish his apple. But what I was gonna say is that Gannon, I just feel like when there's a child, a stepmom, a woman doesn't get enough attention, and she's not going to be the center of attention, and that's a really tough one. Let's see. She was jealous of the love Gannon had for his mother. When I hear that, it's kind of like she wanted to take it all away. She wanted to destroy someone's happiness. Bridget just said, like, I wasn't surprised that she tried to escape the police car. When I heard that, I was like, yep, that's definitely her. When I saw the mugshot, I got chills all over. Also, the video of her was off as well. It's interesting, Bridget, because you're talking about someone from high school. And, I went to high school, who I went to high school were famous people. But I went to high school at Performing Arts in New York. Fame, right? When it was that. And one of the things that I noticed, too, is that the tragedy of seeing people change. Like Elizabeth Pena, who's a wonderful actress and just a wonderful person, and she just died of booze, and there are, the list goes on, but I think there's no accounting for how people destroy themselves or others. And I think he gave herself, I think he meant she gave herself away when she turned her back to the camera. I wonder about that. I'm a survivor. I wonder about that. Oh my gosh. Can I tell you something? If I had a farm, I would have you'd see whippets all over the place. I'd be like, okay. Let's see, Tecia. And by the way, if you're here and you could give a thumbs up, that would be great. It really makes a difference. Please share the video. Please share the channel. I'm going to be growing the true crime channel, and if you go back later and listen to the beginning, you'll hear my new announcements. Okay, Fox 5 says that little boy was so sweet and gorgeous. He really was. Oh my God, it breaks my heart. And good smile, was so pure. I don't understand how she could hurt him. I don't want to understand. We need to know what happened, but it would be, I know, terrible. Here's the thing I think that happened. And this is and we're going to, talk more about it. Carolyn, you're going to be singing it all night. Sorry about that. The fame theme. Yeah, I have to tell you, Oh, and thank you. Stephanie just put up the link to share the video. Carrie Lynn, my high school looked like the school from Fame till they built a brand new one. Yeah, I went there on 46th Street in Manhattan, and lots of stories there. But I want to stay with Gannon because I really feel that, one of the things that I look at is I see this little boy, and didn't you just want to go, I mean, you just want to run up and hug this kid and go, what do you want to do? Let's go play mini golf. You just want to play with this kid. He just has this, I don't know, there was just a loving energy. And you know what that loving energy was from? The mother. And I think Tecia saw what she couldn't be. I think that when I'm looking at some of these murders, I think that people kill what they can't be. And there's only so long you can wear a false front. And I really think that Tecia, this is my vibe on her, and I don't know, Bridget went to school there, I don't know, but I think my vibe is that she was not treated well at home. There was definitely something going on there, maybe even violence. Yeah, chronically Ronnie said it. The minute they start talking about them in the past tense, hello, you killed them. I mean, okay. Oh, thank you again, Stephanie. Great job. She says share in social media. I really appreciate it because it makes a difference. Tracy, you're so cute. She says it's easy to hit the like button and still listen. It's in the top right X button and return to chat. Oh, really? I always thought you could. I guess it's different on phones. It might be different. I always watch it on let's see me at the beach. Hey, good to see you. I have a different take on her back to the camera. I think she didn't want to be recognized in case someone saw her when she was getting rid of Gannon. So great. See me at the beach. Brilliant. Love it. That was oh God, what a, it is tasking, but he and every kid deserves someone loving and thinking of them. You know what? He's got a lot of people thinking of him. I know Kathy Griffith just said, what do you think about Tecia attacking the police? Do you think she was trying to escape? I don't know what was going through her mind because, what happens with a crazy Swiss cheese brain? The only thing I think she can do is she's still in her rage. You know how people talk about like bipolar, right, as being manic one minute and then depressed another. I think there's something around that. And when I say, I'm not making a heart, I'm saying like a square. There's something around that where, and I don't know what it's called. It could be antisocial behavior because I'm not a professional. But I think when you look at it like that, I think that someone who wants to destroy someone else's happiness because they are being left or they cannot have ever the happiness. In other words, there's so much torture that was inside of her. I think she was trying to escape, but I don't know what she was trying to escape from. I think that there's a big problem with Tecia. You know what? Why don't I get some research on her family and we'll talk more about that? How about that? Because I think that would be very interesting to find more about. Let's see. Bridget just said, I agree. That's why she didn't turn towards the camera. She didn't want folks to recognize her from back home. Oh, as well as witnesses. She also used her nickname and not her real name. What's her real name? Sweetheart. I love this. Jail time. You guys, if you're watching this on a replay, you have to come. The party's in the chat, okay? I'm just saying these people are funny. Like we're having it like hoot. Please, if you think of it, please give a thumbs up. I am just like having such a good time with you guys. Let's see. His smiles are, oh, I know, don't. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Leisha says people have that he, oh, okay. People have, I think you're trying to say said that Lumbee Indians at troubled and Tecia can be so cold. She grew up around abuse. She has assault charges, called in a bomb threat. She never had honored rules or laws. Okay, that's a little bit of what But you see, can I just say this? People, pay attention to what you are going to reproduce with. Men, be careful of who you're going to have an affair with. Has no one learned? I mean, my God, I think people didn't have sex for years after, like, we saw Glenn Close kill the rabbit. I mean, that was just like, woo, what was it? Fatal Affair, Fatal Attraction. I mean, give me a break. Look, if in casual conversation on any date, someone's lovingly looks at you and says, well, the last time I was incarcerated, run, okay? Run. Oh, God. Okay, somebody just said, oh, gosh. I'm really annoyed with YouTube because they've been taking away the channel. She used T. Stauch, not Letitia Stauch, during the interview. Yeah, she makes up different parts. Check this out. Letitia, thank you, see me at the beach. Letitia got fired from her teaching job 3 days before Gannon disappeared. Yeah, I want to find out more about T. I think that's going to be an interesting thing. Let's see. Yeah, Black Rose, good to see you. How are you feeling? I know it's going to be a little touchy. I know you're kind of up and down, but I want you to know you're on the mend. You're doing great. Okay. I'm so in tune with my mods. I'm like, I'm vibing on you, Okay, let's see. Let's see. She has a problem with telling the truth. Oh, Fatal Attraction. Yeah, you know what, you guys? I've got a new person that wants to sell Color Street, so I have to go in a minute because I'm going to have a conversation with her to see if she wants to do it. I always like to see if it's going to be right for somebody. I don't want everybody doing it. I've been abused on all levels. I still care about other people, especially my babies. They come before all. Mom of 4 girls, I want to say this to you. Not everybody who's been abused is going to abuse others. That's really important that we all get that. However, I do want to say that that's why sometimes we will see a child who is for some reason a violent one or what have you, because it has passed through you. So one of the things I want to say, and this is kind of what I'm going to cover more on my Woo channel, but I want to say that there are so many stories of great parents and we don't know what happened. And it's because it is really important that we always be working on ourselves, always be trying to find out not why, but how it's affected me and who I am because of it. And I believe that our wounding becomes our greatest gift. It becomes what we're here to help others with. If my mother hadn't been a violent alcoholic, I don't think I ever would have and forbid me from writing. I wasn't allowed to write. I don't think I ever would have had an imagination or written or, so there's so many things that happen from situations where people think they're squelching us, but we grow anyway. It reminds me of that song, There's a Rose in Spanish Harlem. And it's just such a beautiful song. It was kind of my era a little bit. You guys, let's see. Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. No, everything happens for a reason. Brooke, I think that that is very true. And I think sometimes, we always say that everything happens for a reason. But I think that saying is like a bridge. I think that it's kind of like when I say everything happens for a reason, I'm meaning it's a bridge that God is building that I haven't crossed yet. So I don't know why it's happening for a reason, but I feel like he's going to reveal to me what I need to know. And I think it's just like when I say, oh yeah, I believe in God, and people freak out. You read cards? Like, well, you know what? We're a mix of different things. Okay, Leyden, 1986. L. Ellen, sorry. L. Ellen. No, I don't know what no is. Let's see. We can all break the pattern. I agree. It's so hard when the buck stops with you because a lot of time no one will stake their claim in what happened. Yeah, but we can be brave and be better. Yeah, so true. Really great stuff tonight, by the way. I wish that the chat would stay because I think that, that's what YouTube is doing. They're taking down the chats, and I wish I could figure out a way to keep it. I also didn't have a great childhood, but that makes me a better mother. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't think And I'm going to tell you something that may sound really shocking. I think the idea of having a great childhood, myth. Childhood is supposed to train you to be an adult. And that's why we're seeing so many man buns sitting in coffee shops who don't want to work, who think they just are owed something. So don't be so hard on yourself if you think you had a hard childhood, because you know what? We did. We did. Because I don't know about you guys, my parents were World War II people. And so I really took on a lot of that World War II stuff, and those people came back destroyed, abused. Look at the Vietnam veteran generation. They were so unappreciated. They came back and they had like families that they were destroyed after Vietnam. They were cheated. And so here are, they want to help their kids be better. And that's what happens. It makes a lot of sense. I know, really amazing chat tonight, you guys. Let's see. Bridget Hunt said, thanks, ladies. I got out of Robeson County 8 years ago and haven't looked back. I still live very near, but far enough to get away from all the drugs and violence. And I really appreciate that, Bridget Hunt. I really appreciate. And when you say tribe, when you say tribe, is this an Indian tribe? Forgive me for not knowing this, because really, honestly, guys, I was only planning on being a few minutes with you because I was really just going to talk about how Gannon's house and Shanann's house, and by the way, that was Shanann's house. She loved that house. She built that house. That was her dream, And so the thing is, how appropriate is it that it just, it's like, it's been destroyed, I mean, not appropriate. That's not the right word, but it's just so sad. And when I look at the house that Gannon built, the same kind of, it's the same. Okay, whatever. Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, it is an amazing chat. Thank you, guys. So enjoy your take on top stories. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. And then I want to just see something else you guys said. Hey, Stephanie Michelle. Gosh. Yeah, thank you, Cruz Boston. Put a heart up for Gannon. I thought you did that for me. I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Michelle, because I feel the same way. I'm spiritual. I believe in God. I play with cards. And when I say play, you have to understand there was a time in my life, because I wasn't allowed to write, my mother forbid it, that I only had my imagination. So I was making up things, I thought, with cards. I had no idea that what that was doing was it was making my imagination extremely strong. So I just want to say that it also deepened my intuition, because I had to create vocally. I wasn't allowed to speak or to write anything down. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Subscribe if you think of it. Yep, Betsy got a lot of Indian rocks. They made spears. What does that mean, Julie? I missed that. Okay, Bridget. Thank you, and I will always stand for our people. We do have a great ancestors in history, and there's still a lot of good there. Bridget, what ancestry is it? I'm fascinated. Please tell me. Oh, Black Rose, God bless. My husband was killed in Vietnam. That kind of stuff just gets me. Because, in some ways, people that are of service to us, if you think about it, we say sometimes that cops are mean or they're hardened, or, Army people, I'm getting truth bumps. Army people are mean or they're hardened, but and children, there's this need, there's this loyalty, there's this love of something bigger than themselves. So I'm sorry to hear that. My deep condolences. And ooh. I know he was a lovely man if he married you. So there we go. Hearts for Gannon. Yes. Julie, Colorado Springs. Awesome. Taking frown. I don't know what that means. Let's see. I want to just see what tribe I was just asking. Love something so big. What comes to mind? Well, you know what comes to mind is a bigger cause. You know, when and I'm not going to get into this tonight, but I will just say when we went off to war, I don't know if you know this, but in the training in World War II, more men died during the 2 years of training to go to D-Day than died on D-Day. And that's a big one. Crystal, yay! Thank you so much for the super chat. I was like thinking, I don't even know if it works, you know? So thank you for that. So I want to say, Crystal Chafin said, you're an amazing and inspiring woman, and so are you. Thank you for that. Takes one to know one. Let's see. Oh, the Lumbee tribe is a tribe who are not, I'm going to write this down, Lumbee. Okay. The Lumbee tribe is a tribe who are not yet recognized federally. We have been working on federal recognition for a long time. Hopefully we'll get there. It's been a long, hard fight. Oh, it's a Native American tribe. How fascinating. Forgive me for not knowing. I think that's wonderful. Thank you for the super chat, though, Crystal. I really appreciate it. Really. Hey, CH, Alaska. I've always wanted to visit Alaska. Let's see. Don't let what she did hurt. Okay, hold on one second. Hold on, I'm going to go back. I think Tonya's okay, but let's see what happens there. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it wasn't my husband. It was, and I just want to say that this was Black Rose who sacrificed her husband for freedom. And I really want to acknowledge that. Thank you. Because, you know, I'm going to say this, and I know you guys know it, but freedom ain't free. You know, everybody's like, oh, we want free. It isn't free. This land, this country is paved on the back of so many who sacrificed so that we could be here, whether it was willingly or not. And I'm grateful. Thank you, but you are definitely going to be banned from the channel. So don't even, let's see. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you, Blood. Who's that? Was that, whose machete was that? Like, I love when you guys go in. Okay, so what I want to say to you guys, though, is that I will be back. I am going to be looking at the next video, hopefully, that I'm going to do. I'm going to be working on it, so I don't know when I'm going to put it up necessarily, but I will be splitting the channels, so I'm going to be working on that. This will stay the true crime. And there's going to be my life as an author, and a woo person is going to be my other channel. So that those of you who are kind of into the astrology and the woo, and I'll still be talking about all sorts of fun stuff over there. So I'll let you know when that's launching. And in the meantime, I can't believe YouTube hasn't thrown me out yet. But I want to say that if anybody does know, if you could private message me, if anybody does know how to save the live chat for a replay, I don't know how to do it. And it seems to be disappearing. And I think it's, you know, anyway, I read something about that with YouTube. And anybody who is interested in finding out more about Color Street, it's so much fun. I just love this product. I have to tell you, it's made in America. It's real nail polish. I do my nails in 5 minutes. It's just the most incredible thing. And seriously, I just wanted to have it for myself, and I do. So that's it. Anyway, if you're interested in finding out more, there is a link down below. I think it's cutenailshop.com, and you can actually contact me through that as well. All right, everyone, much love tonight, and I will please hit the like button before you exit stage left. And I've enjoyed this so much, and I look forward to talking to all of you very soon. Okay, bye for now.